ladies, and we're back for another session of ballet today. So I have put a request out to everybody to find out what is it specific that I can start putting together for you guys so that you're getting the most out of these lessons. And I'm getting a combination of things, but what I'm really finding is that people are looking for something to strengthen jumps or something to work on a specific point that we can actually develop, practice and train. So today I'm going to start off with pirouettes. As we all know, we always battle with pirouettes, and pirouettes are just there to just be a wow factor as ballerinas go, but it's one of the most difficult things to master. So if I look at pirouettes, some of you have heard this before, I look for 5 elements. Okay, so I look for how you're prepping for that pirouette, your releve in that pirouette, the pirouette itself, are you dropping the leg or you're not dropping the leg, so the actual turn, your finish, and then of course lastly your spotting. Okay, if you don't spot, you're going to fall over. So if you can kind of master these 5 elements, I think that we can really work towards finding your method of getting into that pirouette successfully. But remember, everybody thinks differently. You've got to start thinking what works for you. I've often said, obviously we talk about the releve, that you are going up, okay? I've often said to you guys, I'm sure if you remember, think about pushing the floor away. That seems to work for me. That means I actually then releve better if I think I'm pushing that floor away from me. Okay, so today we're going to start off with 3 basic training exercises. They're simple, there's no fancy linking steps in it, and it's more about the actual holding that position in a releve, and then basically we will add a turn when we do these exercises the second time round. So find your little spot, ladies, and let's get ready for turning. So for our first exercise, we're going to basically be doing a releve in 5th, a releve devant. We're going to tendu to 2nd, tendu derrière, getting into our 4th position, and then we are going to do a releve devant, close it behind. We're going to repeat that on the other leg, and then we are going to incorporate our turn. So for the first 2 on either leg, we are just going to do a releve. So remember, ladies, this is one of the biggest and most important things when it comes to your pirouette. You want to be able to snatch the supporting leg. So when you are in your prep position, so we spoke about the 5 elements, okay? So that prep position, we are doing turns en dehors today, so pirouette en dehors, which means that the weight is between both legs, slightly more on the front leg. In this position, I'm going to be turning to my right towards my back leg. I'm going to lift that back leg up. That's the one that's coming up. Okay? So here is our preparation. Make sure that you haven't got all your weight on the front leg. Okay? Just some of it. This is the snatching leg. This is the one that is going to snatch underneath you, because you have to replace the weight and bring it underneath that body. Okay, right back underneath your hips again. Now, the turn we spoke about, if this is snatched correctly, you should be able to get into your turn a lot easier, because it's almost like a jump. I hate to say that, but it kind of has that feeling. And I always think of pushing the floor away as opposed to just going up. Pushing the floor away gets me into that releve slightly easier. Okay? So there's our second. Also, which is important in the turn, is the arms. If the elbows drop within your turn, you are going to start to spiral. So this arm is in 1st. This arm is in 2nd. You're going to use this arm to come in, to whip you around, and then you are going to keep those elbows up within your turn, and you finish it in 1st position. And if those arms hold you like a cage, strong, elbows up, that will also assist your turn. And of course the spotting. You want to be able to be there and be able to whip that head around. So even if it means when you guys are at home that you get yourself a little post-it note or a sticker or something that you can put in front of you, focus on that and practice that whip around. Okay, that is the focus. And then lastly, we said the finish. Remember what I've always said to you ladies, when it comes to the finish, en dehors, you're going to be closing the leg behind. But most importantly, get into that plie. If you're going to turn and you're going to try and be on straight legs, you are going to fall over. Stop that pirouette dead in its tracks as you get into that plie. Like I said, you see where I'm talking about almost like a jump. When you jump, that's your finish, that's your solid. Okay, same thing with the pirouette. Okay, so let's get back to this exercise. We've said releve fifth, releve devant. Repeat, releve fifth, releve devant. Point, close, point, prepare, and then we're just going to do a releve, devant, a pull, and close it behind. We're then going to do the other leg. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Point and close and prepare, releve and down. Then we are going to do this all again, but instead of doing the releve, we are going to do our pirouette. So da, 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 da. Point, close, point, use that core, and push away the ground, and land. Okay, and then we're going to do it on the other leg. All right, ladies, so let's get ready. Here we go. Free, and up, down, up, down, up, down. Now try hold for the longest you can. And up, down, hold, hold. Now, core, up. Try and hold it there for as long as you can. Now we're going to do our turn. Now, think, focus, focal point, and close, and stop. Use those legs. Use your corset. Good, ladies. Do that a couple of times, just keep working through that. Okay, so for that first training exercise, what I was trying to sort of train mostly was the releves. Okay, always the releves, but that was kind of the warm-up, getting into that releve, understanding that snatch. Now what I'd like to concentrate, again, is still on the releves, like I said, always the releves, but now I want to work a little bit on the finish. I just want to mention, guys, if you want to do some of these training exercises using a surface, like working at the bar, at your countertop, feel free to do so. This is your opportunity to practice. This is a training exercise. So if you do not want to do the turn, or if you are able, you haven't got cupboards in front of you and you are able to do the turn, even if it's half a turn, even if it's just a quarter turn, that's perfect. The most important thing is to understand the releve, the turn will come. Okay, but for those of you who are wanting to practice the turn, we're trying to just cover all bases here. Okay, so coming back to this exercise now, we are now working on the finish. So what we are going to do is we're going to be doing a releve in fifth, again, releve in fifth, a releve devant, but instead of just coming down, you are going to come into fifth and then squeeze. We are going to do that 3 times. So that is basically almost the prep and the finish. Okay, so just like the other training exercise, the first section we are going to do just with releves, and then the second side section we'll do with the turn. Okay, so we got releve fifth, releve devant, closing fifth and squeeze. We do that 3 times. Then we are going to do point and close and point, prepare, releve, close it behind and squeeze. So that you know for en dehors it goes at the back. Remember, en dehors, close the door. Okay? And we're going to do that on the other leg, and then the music will stop, we'll start again, and then we are going to do it with our pirouette en dehors. Alright ladies, so let's get started. And up, down, squeeze. And up, down, squeeze. And 1, 2, 3, 4, squeeze. And 5, 6, 7, 8, up, squeeze. we're going to the other side. So that you get rid of those nerves. Now we're going to do our turn. Point, close. Squeeze. Hold everything together. Your corset. On the finish. Please, if my spotting is terrible in this, I'm so self-conscious about the camera. So if my spotting isn't that great, please you make sure that you do it properly at home. Okay, so for our third exercise, like I said, sometimes I think about a pirouette as a jump. And sometimes thinking about that helps you get over that fear of, oh, now I've got to turn. Okay, so it just allows you to just go into it without even having to think. So just think I'm jumping into that turn. Okay, so for this training exercise, we are going to do some jumps. So we are going to do 4 changements. 1, 2, 3, 4. Échappé to second. Go échappé to fourth immediately. And then straight from there, without even thinking about it, you are going to go into your turn. Now, hopefully, again, like I said, without you thinking about it, those elements of the releve, of the spotting, all come into play if you're kind of looking at it from a jumping point of view. Okay, so let's try this. So it's 4 changements, out, back, turn. So you're just jumping into your 4th position, which is your prep position, and go for it. Okay, ladies, so let's do this last exercise. Ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, turn, down. 1, 2. Ladies, okay, I would like you to practice those 3 exercises a couple of times for me. You can go back to them at any stage when we're doing our pirouettes, so give them a try. I hope those have been helpful, and we'll see you again soon.